When Mark Zuckerberg recently described a future where advertisers would need no creative, no targeting demographic, no measurement, it signaled an unapologetic shift towards fully autonomous advertising. Now, brands and agencies are questioning whether Amazon will pursue a similar just trust me approach with its rapidly growing retail media business. A close examination of Amazon's recent advertising developments reveals a more nuanced strategy that balances automation with advertiser control. Let's dive in. Zuckerberg's black box future. In an interview with Stratechery in May, Mark Zuckerberg outlined his vision for Meta's advertising future. He says, "We're going to get to a point where you're a business, you come to us, you tell us what your objective is, you connect to your bank account, you don't need any creative, you don't need any targeting demographic, you don't need any measurement, except to be able to read the results that we spit out. I think that's going to be huge. I think it is a redefinition of the category of advertising." Wow. This vision represents performance advertising's ultimate black box, an AI-driven system that eliminates traditional advertiser responsibilities and asks brands to simply trust the platform's ability to deliver results. It's a big bet on artificial intelligence that promises to redefine the relationship between advertisers and platforms. Zuckerberg's vision isn't entirely without precedent. Google has been moving in a similar direction with its Performance Max or PMax campaigns since 2021. Google's vast advertising inventory across search, shopping, YouTube, display, Discover, Gmail, and Maps into a single campaign type managed primarily by Google's algorithms. This format has seen both success and resistance. Google reports over 1 million advertisers now use PMax, with some third-party research suggesting that it absorbed approximately 82% of shopping ad spend by May 2024. However, that share has declined about 6 percentage points since then as some brands test other formats, suggesting a growing resistance to the black box approach. Unlike Zuckerberg's zero input vision, PMax still requires advertisers to provide a minimal creative kit, things like logo, images, video, headlines, etc. Google has also recently added more transparency features after sustained industry pushback, including search term insights, asset level reporting, and channel level reporting. So the big question in our world is Amazon going to follow the same path as the number 1 and 2 ad platforms? So Amazon is, as we know, the third largest digital advertising platform globally. And as it continues to mature, industry experts are really divided on whether Amazon will pursue a completely autonomous approach similar to Google and Meta, or if they're going to follow a different type of path. Amazon has taken strides to legitimize Amazon Ads as a true standalone business unit. One retail media agency leader serving enterprise brands, who I spoke with that requested anonymity, said, "I see Amazon Ads as performance plus and brand plus campaign types picking up solid momentum. These are the first iterations of Amazon's move towards less control for advertisers." The launch of these optimization engines, combined with Amazon's investment in generative AI tools for creative production, does suggest a trajectory toward more automation. However, several factors unique to Amazon's ecosystem may prevent a complete shift to the black box model. Kashif Zafar, CEO of ad tech company Xnerta, sees Amazon pursuing a different path. He says, "Amazon is steering towards more of a copilot model rather than a closed cockpit. What makes users feel more comfortable is transparency and basically a say into the ads approach instead of a just trust me model that Zuckerberg is pushing." Zafar counts some recent Amazon initiatives that support this copilot theory. One of them is that GenAI creative tools still require brand input. So these are things like the AI Creative Studio and video generator. Number 2, shopping agents have been built for consumers, but not a black box for brands. We're seeing Amazon's AI capabilities like Rufus and the new Buy For Me feature demonstrate a push into AI shopping assistance, and these tools are answering questions, building carts, even transacting off Amazon, but advertisers are still getting a transparent path to the sale. And finally, he calls out enhanced measurement capabilities. Amazon continues to invest in Amazon Marketing Cloud with new UI templates and simplified queries, suggesting a commitment to transparency rather than hiding attribution. Katie McKee, an independent retail media consultant, identifies several structural reasons why Amazon might resist the full black box approach. She says, Amazon, like Meta, is incredibly data rich, so offering a done-for-you tool would be particularly efficient. However, most of the useful data is on the Amazon retail side, and due to regulations can't be shared to its sister property at Amazon Ads. This cuts deeply into how efficient a tool they could build without regulations changing. McKee also highlights a fundamental difference in the Amazon advertising ecosystem. Product pages are the creative. Strip the hero image, bullets, and reviews out of an ad, and conversion tanks. Amazon can compress the asset workflow, but it can't delete it. And this perspective really aligns with Kashif Zafar from Xnerta's assessment. High margin inventory needs storytelling. Amazon's push into sponsored TV and Twitch isn't possible without brand-led narrative. That's where the CPMs and margins live. AI-enabled ads solve for the lowest common denominator. Ross Walker, Director of Retail Media at ad agency Acadia, sees Amazon already moving in this direction with their auto campaign functionality for search. He says, drop in your product, no creative needed outside of the product image and title, and they do the rest. Walker believes the logic is straightforward. If you remove all the barriers brands state as reasons they don't invest, they will invest more. If you cut out agency costs and creative costs, it leaves more for working media. However, he cautions that marketers will always seek advantages. Brands will still probably try and find ways to gain a strategic edge in advertising. Despite what Zuck says, everyone is out to gain an edge on their competitors. No system is immune to being gamed. Perhaps the most controversial aspect of Zuckerberg's vision is the implication that Meta would be the sole arbiter of campaign success. This self-grading approach faces significant headwinds in retail media, where brands are increasingly demanding independent measurement. Xnerta's Kashif Zafar says retail media trust is fragile. Brands already accuse Amazon of grading its own homework. Removing levers or the ability to audit with AMC would just set off alarms at every major holding company. The takeaway is that Amazon's more likely to pursue a more measured approach. While Meta charges ahead with its vision and Google continues refining Performance Max, Amazon finds itself in a uniquely advantageous position. As the third largest ad platform globally, Amazon has the benefit of observing how things have shaken out with PMax before committing to its own path. Amazon's advertising base spans from enterprise brands spending millions monthly to small sellers investing just enough to improve their organic rankings. Some of these advertisers will readily adopt a black box approach if it delivers results, while others, particularly sophisticated agencies and brands with established marketing operations, will demand greater control and transparency. Rather than forcing all advertisers into a single model, Amazon appears to be building a spectrum of solutions, from highly automated tools for those who want simplicity to granular controls for those who demand them. The question isn't whether Amazon will embrace AI-driven advertising, it already has. The real question is whether it will preserve the transparency and control that increasingly define its competitive advantage against the black box futures its rivals envision.